to raise for the budget, please donate generously towards the Ramadan fund in these holy nights, where your donations are multiplied and your rewards are the best during these nights. You can contact the treasury team in the gents foyer, or Sister Kani's auntie Maldina in the ladies. They do accept cash, card, or checks, and you can also pay online as well. A polite request to parents. There has been numerous requests. Firstly, children are requested not to be running around during the hall during iftar when it's being served, as there is hot food and we don't want any incidents. Also, if you can keep your children with you at all times during the program, please try and accompany them to the toilet, especially when they're young, as we don't want the toilets to be left unclean and have najast issues within the toilets. And also, please ensure that your children are not playing football during the programs, during the lecture and the duas. And final note, we have had many complaints from community members. Please ensure when the children are playing football, that they play on the grass behind the building and not where the cars are, as the cars have been damaged by that. Also, a request and a polite reminder to everyone, especially now that we're going through the late night programs. Please respect our neighbours when leaving the centre at night after the programs, and try and keep the noise at a minimum during these times. If you'd like to put your name for a slot for Dua Jashn Kabir, please speak to Brother Furqan Abdullah and we'll slot you in with that, and we'll have Dua Jashn Kabir on the 19th, 21st and the 23rd night. The ladies subcommittee are organizing a program titled Shaheed Kufa, which will be held tomorrow after iftar. This is the martyr of the prayer. This will be an enlightening talk followed by a theatrical play that will be live streamed from Haydari. The program will start at 10:20 p.m. in the ladies' hall. Reflections on Laylatul Qadr by Sister Ayat Abdullah, and followed by, like I said, the live play, and light refreshments will be served. Taking that into account, we have also decided that on the gents side we shall have a similar program. The program will again start at 10:30 p.m. 10:30 p.m. will be streaming live from Haydari, where they'll start the Hadisi Kisa, the Marsiya, and then the play will start at 11 p.m. So this play is open for all ladies and gents to come and take part and listen to and watch, and followed by the play at 11:45 there will be a speech by Sayyid Amar Naqshbani. All ladies and gents are requested to attend for this program, which will be held tomorrow after iftar. And just a reminder that the boys football organised by Sharikatul Husayn will still be on at 10:15 p.m. For more information on that, you can speak to Brother Anis Rajani. And also a final announcement on behalf of the Little Angels. The Little Angels have compiled a children's Amal booklet for the Amal of Laylatul Qadr. To collect your copy for your children, please see Sister Fatima Rajani in the ladies, or you can collect it from the back desk in the gents after iftar. Or Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. I would now like to invite Sayyid Zafar Abbas to come forward to deliver tonight's majlis. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على النبي الأمي العربي القرشي المكي المدني الهاشمي صاحب قاب قوسين محبوب رب المشرقين والمغربين جد الحسن والحسين النبي الحرمين والإمام القبلتين والرسول الثقلين الذين سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتخبين المنتجبين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء واللعنة الدائمة الباقية على أعدائهم ومنكر فضائلهم وغاصب حقوقهم أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: يا علي أنت وشيعتك هم الفائزون. صلوات الله محمد وعلى محمد. In honor of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam recite and the salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And to hasten the reappearance of our awaited Imam recite third loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We mentioned yesterday regarding this hadith of the Holy Prophet of Islam. We mentioned when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned this hadith, what was the reasoning for talking about this hadith, and we discussed regarding success and why is it that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used this word of success with regards to Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam and his Shia, his followers. Today we briefly want to finish off a couple of things that we left yesterday and then speak about the Battle of Badr as an example of that success. Of course, as you know, the Battle of Badr took place in the holy month of Ramadan. For those of you interested in trivia, it was actually before fasting became obligated, so Muslims are not fasting at the Battle of Badr because it took place in the first year after Hijrah, and the fasting was obligated in the second year after Hijrah. So we'll refer to that as an example of, or an early example of success. Before that, we mentioned yesterday that the reasoning for the emphasis on Iman and Amal al-Salihat, belief and righteous deeds together. The Holy Quran, whenever it speaks about Iman, speaks about belief, straight after it speaks about Amal al-Salihat, the righteous deeds as well. And the reasoning behind that we mentioned is that there are two, or at the time of the Holy Prophet Islam, and even up to today, there are two competing ideologies that existed. One of them is the idea that all you need to do, all you need for salvation is believing in the law. This is the ideology of Bani Israel, that you need only the law, and the law is elevated to the status of not just following it, but actually worshipping it. Whereas on the other hand, the competing ideology to that you have is the idea that all you need is a couple of beliefs, and as long as you believe in the right things, it doesn't matter what your actions are, whether you have any actions at all, you will get salvation. These two are the ideologies that exist at the time of the Holy Prophet of Islam, and religion of Islam is revealed to show that both of these ideologies are wrong. That neither can a person get salvation just by following the law, nor can they get salvation just by having a number of beliefs, but you need both of them. You need both of these ideologies, you need both of these things together in order to get salvation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that actions would not be acceptable from those other than illal muttaqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Allah only accepts the actions of those who are muttaqi. And similarly, He says that there's no iman. And if, in other words, if we would say, recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. In other words, if we were to say that a person who has no iman, their actions have no value, they have no validity. And a person who has iman, his iman is not complete unless he acts in accordance with that iman. So it is a necessity of that iman, of that belief, to demonstrate it with his actions as well. For this reason, the Holy Quran time and time again tells us that you have to have iman, and with it righteous deeds and righteous actions, amal salihat as well. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now, as we said, the holy month of Ramadan, in the first year after Hijrah, the Battle of Badr takes place. Now, this battle is very important for a number of reasons, but most particularly we want to focus on those aspects of that battle which is related to our topic of success and how is success achieved. And how did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam show practically how this success is going to be achieved. So of course, the context is that Muslims were living in Mecca, they were being persecuted for living in Mecca, and one by one they migrate to Medina. Finally, the Holy Prophet ﷺ himself also also migrates to Medina. When he comes to Medina, of course, the Meccans are not satisfied with the fact that they managed to drive out the Muslims from Mecca. Their objective, and this is very important, because we're going to come back to this, that success and failure will be defined by objectives. So the objective of the Meccans is to annihilate the religion of Islam. They want to kill the Holy Prophet of Islam, and by that they believe and think that if we kill the Holy Prophet of Islam, then we will be able to annihilate the religion of Islam. It should be finished once and for all. This is the objective of the Meccans. The objective of the Prophet is to protect the lives of the Muslims, the honor of the Muslims, and to protect the religion of Islam. So Meccans decide, they have a meeting that they've all escaped, they've gone to Medina, the people in Medina have given them shelter. So what shall we do? So they plan that, let's go and attack and siege the city of Medina. So Rasulullah gets knowledge, gets news that this is what's being planned in the city of Mecca by Abu Jahl and his allies, that they want to come and siege the city of Medina. So Rasulullah, first objective that he does is that, number one, you have to, no matter who you are, and if you're a Muslim, even if you have less resources and you have less people and you have from every aspect materially you're inferior to them, you have to be smarter than them. Unfortunately, nowadays Muslims have all the resources, but they're not smarter than their enemies. Rasulullah salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. What does he do? As soon as he finds out that they have marched towards Medina, he relocates and places himself southwest of Medina at a place called Badr. Today, those of you who've been for ziyarat, and inshallah ta'ala, those of you who've not been, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you all have the opportunity to visit those holy places. Badr today is obviously part of the city of Medina, but at that time, city of Medina was a small area where the Masjid of the Holy Prophet Islam and where Al-Baqi is, and all these rest of the areas, Badr, Uhud, so on and so forth, were outside the city of Medina. So Rasulullah stations himself there with the famous number that we all love now, 313, which comes from the day of Badr. 70 camels and 2 horses. That's it. Whereas the enemy is 1,000 people, well equipped. They have horses, they have camels, they have weapons, they have everything from a material point of view. When Abu Jahl finds out that Rasulullah is no longer in Medina and he's marched to Badr, they realize, well, our objective is what? Our objective is to kill Rasulullah. So therefore going to Medina is no longer going to achieve our objectives. We go to Badr. So already Rasulullah has outsmarted them by protecting the city of Medina. There's a number of other reasons why city of Medina is being protected. I want you to remember this because inshallah ta'ala, if Allah gives us tawfiq, we'll address this particular point tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever we get the opportunity to do so. But I want you to remember this, that city of Medina is to be protected, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is making all efforts to make sure that the city of Medina is being protected, that there's no fighting in the city of Medina. And this is important both in the time of Rasulullah and also after Rasulullah as well. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, whilst they're marching on the way to the battle of Badr, this is the first battle in the religion of Islam, Rasulullah wants to know, what do the people with him, there's only 313 of them, what do they think? How are they thinking? What is their morale in terms of facing the enemy? So as though Miqdad ibn al-Aswad reads the mind of Rasulullah, and he stands up and he says, Ya Rasulullah, we will not be like the people of Musa. We will not be like the people of Musa. What did they say? You read it in the Quran. They said, oh Musa, you and your Allah go and fight. We will stay here. When the halwa comes, biryani comes, then we'll come. Recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala. We will not fight. You and your Allah go and fight. So Miqdad ibn al-Aswad says, Ya Rasulullah, we will not be like the people of Bani Israel. We are with you and we will fight with you. We will protect you. We will do whatever you tell us to do. Now Rasulullah is conscious that with him are not just the Muhajirin, and Miqdad ibn al-Aswad has spoken on behalf of the Muhajirin, but with him are the Ansar as well. And I want you to remember this as well, because this point is also going to come, that the importance of Muhajirin and Ansar to the religion of Islam, and how Ansar were wiped out of the history of Islam after the Holy Prophet of Islam. As long as Rasulullah is alive, he makes sure that Muhajirin and Ansar have equal share in the history of Islam. But after him, things change. So as soon as Miqdad al-Aswad finishes his speech and he sits down, Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh from the Ansar stands up and he says, Ya Rasulullah, we are also with you. Just like Miqdad says, Muhajirin are with you, I am saying that Ansar are also with you. So 313 only, and in terms of resources, they are nothing compared to the Meccans. But of course, they reach, the Muslims have reached first, and Abu Jahl and Co also reach. When they reach, there's a couple of people, new Muslims, they just became Muslims. So, even today, the people who become new Muslims, they have lots of enthusiasm, especially early in the early days of becoming Muslims. So, of course, this is the case from time of Rasulullah. There's some new Muslims. And when the time for fighting comes, of course, the Arab way of fighting is to fight in single combat, one on one. So when the time for fighting comes, the Meccans say that send out people one on one. They send out 3 of their warriors, and they say send out people one on one. So Rasulullah, some of the people in the camp, the new Muslims, say, Ya Rasulullah, we want to fight. So Rasulullah sends them out. When they go out, the Meccans ask them, who are you? Introduce yourself. This is also an old Arabic way that they used to introduce themselves. They used to recite poetry saying who they are. When they introduced themselves, the Meccans said, we don't know you. In terms of your tribes, in terms of your families, we don't know you. You are not famous. We are respectable, notable people of Medina, of Mecca. We want people who are the same level as us. I want you to remember this point as well. I'm making you remember a lot of things today. But I want you to remember this point as well, that when you fight somebody, you have to make sure your opponent is the same level as you. You have to make sure that your opponent is the same level as you, whether that's intellectually, if you're having an intellectual argument, whether it is physically and courageously if you're in the battlefield, but you have to make sure that your opponent is the same level as you. I want to remember this, inshallah. We'll come back to this as well, especially after what happens after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So now they go back. They say that Meccans have refused to fight us. And then the Meccans say, oh Muhammad, don't you have anybody who's notable? So now there's a challenge. Now there's a challenge to Rasulullah. That was an opportunity from the Prophet. He said, yes, they've got enthusiasm, they want to fight. So we sent them out. But now Rasulullah is answering the challenge, and he's giving us a very important lesson from this battle. He sends out Ali, Hamza and Ubaidah. And he says, remember, if something's worth fighting for, then it's worth putting Ali on the line for it. It's worth putting Hamza on the line for it. It's worth putting Ubaidah on the line for it. I've put these people out so that nobody says tomorrow that Rasulullah saved his family and he sent out the companions. No, I've sent out my family to tell everybody that if something's worth fighting for, then it's worth putting Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam in the line of danger. If something's worth fighting for, then you put your family on the line. For the religion of Islam, even your family can be sacrificed. This is the first message from this battle. Now they come out into the battlefield. And, of course, you've heard the battle many times before, I don't know. run you through all the details of the battle, but only those points which are related to our topic. So battle takes place. In this battle, Muslims are victorious, even though they are less, even though they have less resources. And even the Meccans are confused that how is it that we had more people? We initiated the battle. We were prepared for the fighting. We caught them off guard, and yet we still got defeated. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replied, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. لَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped you on the day of Badr. وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ, even though you were weak. So now, after this, he says, now you have to do something. And as a result of that, you would get something. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. So now, this fa is fa of Fawri. Qibla is there. And if you want to understand what this fa means, this is a hadith that you all know. Man kuntu mawlahu, fahada aliyun mawla. That without salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. That Rasulullah says, whomsoever I'm the master, without any gap, without any fasil, bila fasil, Ali is also their master. So similarly, the command here is, لَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. Straight away, you need to have taqwa for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. As a result of this taqwa, you might be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَعَلَّكُمْ. It's not definite. It's not certain. This la'alla, you hear it every single day in the holy month of Ramadan. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. There's no guarantee that the fasting will make you muttaqi, but it might. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. The purpose of the fasting is to make you muttaqi. Similarly here, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. You might be thankful. We know that you won't. Why? Because the following year, on the day of Uhud, you are more in number, you have more resources, you are more prepared, but you still lose. Why? Because you didn't do taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a result of the gratefulness on the day of Badr, and you didn't do shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah showed you. Salawat ala Muhammad wa Now don't think that it was you who made yourselves victorious on the day of Badr. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped you on this day. That's why you became successful. And if He didn't help you, you saw what happened to you at the day of Uhud. But after this battle, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds in the verses following this is verse 123 of Surah Al Imran. Verse 124, 125 tells us that we sent down 3,000 angels, then we sent down 5,000 angels. And who are these angels? When the battle concludes, the Meccans say to one another that I was fighting Ali ibn Abi Talib. The other person on the other side of the battlefield said, I was fighting Ali ibn Abi Talib. The person on the third side of the battlefield said, but I was fighting Ali ibn Abi Talib. Every single person says, but I was fighting Ali ibn Abi Talib. They came and asked Rasulullah. Rasulullah said, those 5,000 angels which came down, they all came down looking like Ali ibn Abi Talib. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now the battle's concluded. And the way of the Arabs of the time is what? Is as soon as you realize that you're going to be defeated, you leave the battlefield and leave everything behind. So as soon as the notable casualties on the day of Badr are the father of Hinda, and the two brothers of Hind. These three are the notable casualties on the day of Badr. Killed by one by Imam Amirul Mu'minin, one by Hamza, and one by Ubaidah, who got injured and then was finished off by Imam Amirul Mu'minin. Now, once the battle's over, they leave behind things. And of course, certain people, the ones who survived, are taken as prisoners of war. Here, Rasulullah teaches us something else. And he says that I'm putting two words together which usually you don't put together. One is war, and the other one is akhlaq. Why in English we say all is fair in love and war? Islam says no. When there's love, there's akhlaq. And where there's war, there's also akhlaq. Where there's love, there's akhlaq, and where there's war, there's also akhlaq. There are some ethics, some akhlaq when it comes to war as well. Those people who were taken as prisoners of war on the day of Badr, they said later on about the people who captured them. They said, may Allah bless those people, the people of Badr. Why? They gave us to eat when they went hungry. And they gave us to ride when they walked. And they gave us to clothing and shelter where they themselves went without it. Now Rasulullah set some agreements for them. You want to be freed? So he says to the ones who are wealthy that you pay for your freedom. And he says to the ones who are educated. The people who are educated, what does he say? He says, teach 10 Muslims how to read and write, and you would be freed. In other words, even in war, even as prisoners of war, number one, they're going to be treated humanely. There's going to be akhlaq when it comes to war. No, today in the name of Rasulullah, people are killing each other. Today in the name of Rasulullah, all akhlaq are being violated. But read and learn the seerat of Rasulullah so we can know and say that this is the way Rasulullah used to be. And this way that people are claiming today is not the way of, it can be the way of the enemies of Rasulullah, but it's not the way of Rasulullah. It's not the way of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. It's not the way of Islam to treat people inhumanely. Even if they are non-Muslims. These people who were captured on the day of Badr are not Muslims. These people captured on the day of Badr are not Muslims, but Rasulullah treated them humanely. Today, Muslims capture Muslims and don't treat them humanely. Today, Muslims treat Muslims inhumanely. Rasulullah is teaching that even non-Muslims are to be treated humanely with akhlaq. And then he's giving us the emphasis on education, that if they teach 10 people how to read and write, then they will get their freedom the same as the ones who buy their freedom. That's how important education is to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If you all could move forward, we're running out of room at the back, so if you all move forward, recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. اللهم صل على محمد This is what Rasulullah is teaching. That success, even with less people, less resources, will come to you if you rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, effort has to come from you. And this is the last thing today, then everything else, inshallah, will continue here from here tomorrow. This point. That Islam, religion of Islam, the seerat of the Holy Prophet, of Aimma alayhi salam, is not outcome based. It is effort based. And this is very important. Why? Because outcome is not in my hands. Outcome is not in my hands. Outcome is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hands. لَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, otherwise on paper, there's no chance that Muslims will be successful on the day of Badr. But the effort is from the Muslims, outcome is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Effort is from the Muslims, outcome is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, in the case and matter of success, effort has to be from me, outcome is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see the sincerity of the effort, which will be determine the outcome. Sincerity of the effort, ikhlas of the effort will determine the outcome. And He's given us within a year these two examples: the day of the Battle of Badr, where there's sincerity from the Muslims, so there is victory, and the day of Uhud, where there's no sincerity, and therefore victory turns into defeat. So therefore, this is the key, that effort. No, I can't say that just because the outcome is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hands, so there's no effort. No. The outcome would be determined based on the sincerity, the quality of the effort that I'm going to put in. And if I'm going to put in the effort, then only would the desirable outcome be achieved. This is based on the akhlaq of war, the akhlaq of love, and even, imagine, there's no other person who can do this. There's even akhlaq when it comes to death. Nobody other than Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam can teach you and I what is the akhlaq of death. What is the akhlaq of how to die? Imagine, on this day, 18th of holy month of Ramadan, Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam comes to the house of Kulthum. Imagine, as uninjured, it's the last day of his life. आखिरी दिन इमाम अमीरुल मुमिनीन का सही हालत है। इसके बावजूद अखलाक का दामन नहीं छोड़ा। अखलाक क्या है, दर्स क्या है, सीरत क्या है, ये सुनिए। इमाम अमीरुल मोमिनीन सलाम उम्मे कुलसूम के घर में तशरीफ लाए तो कोई पहली दफे तो नहीं आए। बेटी का घर है, उम्मे कुलसूम के घर में अली आते रहते हैं, और रवायतों में है कि इस माह रमजानुल मुबारक में भी इससे पहले तशरीफ लाए थे। लेकिन आज जो तशरीफ लाए हैं तो बड़ा बदला हुआ अंदाज है। क्यों? जान मोहतरम, आपकी आवाज़ें बुलंद हो गई, बड़ा बदला हुआ अंदाज है। बल्कि ये माह रमजानुल मुबारक जो शुरू हुआ है तो उसके शुरू होने के से ही अली का अंदाज बदला हुआ है। 40 हिजरी का जब माह रमजानुल मुबारक का आगाज हुआ तो रोजाना अली पूछते थे कि आज माह रमजानुल मुबारक की कौन सी तारीख है। तो कोई कहता था या अली आज माह रमजान की पहली तारीख है, आज माह रमजान की दूसरी तारीख है। इस तरह दिन गुजरते गए। एक रवायत में है कि 10 या 13 या इसके दरमियान में किसी दिन इमाम अमीरुल मोमिनीन ने पूछा हसन मुश्तबा से कि आज माह रमजान मुबारक की कौन सी तारीख है। कहा कि 13 तारीख। और कहा कितने दिन रह गए? कहा इतने दिन रह गए। तो दूर से एक शख्स को देखा, वो सलाम करके जा रहा था। तो मौला ने उसको नजदीक बुलाया, कहा तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? कहा मेरा नाम अब्दुल रहमान है। کہ تیرے باپ کا نام کیا ہے؟ کہ باپ کا نام ملجم ہے۔ کہ مولا نے پوچھا کیا تیرا تعلق قبیلہ مراد سے ہے؟ کہا مولا ہاں میرا تعلق قبیلہ مراد سے۔ تو مولا کہنے لگے کہ میں دیکھ رہا ہوں کہ تمہاری تلوار ہوگی اور میرا سر ہوگا اور یہ داڑھی خون سے خضاب ہو رہی ہوگی۔ تو اس نے تلوار پھینک دی۔ کہا مولا مجھے قتل کر دیجیے، خدا نہ کرے کہ ایسا دن آئے، تیرا ماہ رمضان مبارک ہے یہ، کہ خدا نہ کرے کہ ایسا دن آئے۔ تو ادھر صحابی نے کہا کہ مولا پھر اسے قتل کیوں نہیں کر دیتے؟ قسم خدا کی علی کے علاوہ یہ جملہ کوئی کہہ نہیں سکتا ہے۔ مولا نے کہا کہ رسول اللہ نے مجھے یہ بتایا ہے کہ یہ میرا قاتل ہے، یہ نہیں بتایا ہے کہ میں اس کا قاتل ہوں۔ قسم خدا کی علی کے علاوہ یہ کوئی کہہ نہیں سکتا۔ اجرکم اللہ، اللہ آپ کو کسی غم میں نہ رلائے سوائے غم اہل بیت کے۔ 18 ماہ رمضان مبارک کو علی ام کلثوم کے گھر افطار کے لیے تشریف لاتے ہیں۔ نماز کے بعد جب گھر میں تشریف رکھتے ہیں تو ام کلثوم نے دسترخوان پر ایک روٹی، کچھ دودھ اور تھوڑا سا نمک رکھا ہے۔ عزیزوں روایت کے جملے بڑے ذمہ داری سے پڑھ رہا ہوں۔ علی نے ام کلثوم کو گھور کے دیکھا اور پھر کہا کہ کیا تم نے کبھی علی کو ایک وقت میں 2 سالن کھاتے ہوئے دیکھا ہے؟ عزیزوں یہ علی کا آخری دن ہے دنیا میں، صحیح حالت میں آخری دن ہے، اس کے باوجود کہہ رہے ہیں کہ کیا تم نے علی کو کبھی ایک وقت میں 2 سالن کھاتے ہوئے دیکھا ہے؟ اجرکم اللہ۔ ام کلثوم نے چاہا کہ نمک اٹھا لیں، کہا نہیں نمک نہیں، دودھ کو اٹھا لیں، اور پھر اس کی توجیہ فرمائی ہے۔ کہا ام کلثوم یہ یاد رکھو، یہ یاد رکھو کہ قیامت کا دن آنے والا ہے، حساب کا دن آنے والا ہے، اور فی حلالہا حساب وفی حرامہا عقاب۔ یہ یاد رکھو کہ جو کچھ بھی حرام کیا ہے اس کا عقاب ہوگا، اس کا عذاب ہوگا، لیکن یہ نہ سمجھنا کہ جو کچھ بھی حلال ہے اسے کھائے جاؤ، نہیں، جو کچھ بھی حلال ہے اس کا بھی حساب ہوگا۔ اور تیرے بابا کو قیامت کے دن، محشر کے دن زیادہ دیر کھڑے ہو کر کے حساب دینے کا شوق نہیں ہے۔ اجرکم اللہ۔ کچھ لقمے علی نے روٹی کے نمک سے کھائے اور اٹھ گئے، اور پھر گھر کے صحن میں چہل قدمی کرتے تھے۔ ام کلثوم نے پوچھا کہ بابا آپ کو کبھی اس حالت میں نہیں دیکھا؟ آپ کو کبھی بھی اس حالت میں نہیں دیکھا؟ تو فرمانے لگے کہ یاد رکھو تیرے بابا نے عرب کے بڑے بڑے پہلوانوں کا مقابلہ کیا، بدر و احد میں بڑے بڑے پہلوانوں کو مارا، روز خندق عمرو بن عبد ود جیسے کو 1 بار نہیں 2 بار زیر کیا، خیبر میں مرحب و عنتر و حارث کو قتل کیا، اور کبھی بھی ذرہ برابر خوف بھی علی کے دل میں نہیں آیا تھا، لیکن آج علی کے دل میں خوف ہے، اس لیے کہ کل لقاء الہی کا روز ہے، کل ملاقات خالق کا روز ہے، اور اس سے کوئی بچ نہیں سکتا، اس سے کوئی بچ نہیں سکتا۔ ابھی باپ بیٹی کے درمیان گفتگو ہو رہی تھی کہ دروازے کے باہر کچھ آواز آنے لگی۔ بس عزیزوں میں نے مجلس تمام کر دی، مصائب بھی یہیں پہ چھوڑ رہا ہوں، کل سے اسی کو یہیں سے بات شروع کروں گا۔ تلواروں کی جھنکار سنی، تلواروں کی جھنکار سنی اور دروازے پر آئے. دروازہ کھولا تو دیکھا حذیفہ یمانی 40 جوانوں کے ساتھ گھر کا پہرا دے کر کھڑی. عزیزو بس یہ جملہ سنیے، گریہ کیجئے اور مجھے اجازت دے دیجئے. 40 برہنہ تلواروں کے ساتھ 40 جوان گھر کے سامنے کھڑے ہوئے ہیں پہرا دے کر کے. حذیفہ سے مولا نے کہا کیا ہے؟ کہا مولا بستر پر جا کر لیٹا تھا تو دل کو سکون چین نہیں ہوا. ایسا کیسے ہو سکتا ہے کہ آپ کو کچھ ہو جائے اور ہم زندہ رہیں؟ عزیزوں بس جملہ سنیے گا. علی نے حذیفہ سے کہا حذیفہ میں کون ہوں؟ آپ خود ہی سوچئے، امام وقت اگر یہ پوچھ لیں کہ میں کون ہوں تو آدمی کیا جواب دے؟ یہ آسان سوال نہیں ہے. حذیفہ کانپنے لگے، لرزتے ہوئے جواب دیا مولا آپ امام ہیں. کہا میرا حکم ہے کہ جا کر بستر پر لیٹ جاؤ. میرا حکم ہے جا کر بستر پر لیٹ جاؤ. بس عزیزوں مصاحب یہی کی بات یاد رکھیے گا، مصاحب یہی سے کل شروع کروں گا. عزیزوں جب گھر سے نکلنے لگے تو مرغابیوں نے آواز کی، شور مچایا. علی نے نوکروں نے چاہا کہ انہیں خاموش کر دیں. علی نے کہا انہیں چھوڑ دو، یہ میرے فراق پہ رو رہی ہیں. حسن مجتبیٰ سے مخاطب ہوئے، بس آخری جملہ، حسن مجتبیٰ سے مخاطب ہوئے، کہا کہ جب تک کہ ان کو پال سکو، ان کے کھانے پینے کا اہتمام کر سکو، انہیں پالنا، اور جس دن یہ محسوس کرنا کہ تم انہیں کھانا نہیں کھلا سکتے، انہیں آزاد کر دینا. اللہ نے ان میں صلاحیت رکھی ہے کہ یہ اپنا رزق خود تلاش کر لیں. عزیزو یہ 40 ہجری کا کوفہ تھا جب علی کو چوپاہوں کے کھانے پینے کا خیال تھا. ارے 60 ہجری کا کوفہ ہوگا جبکہ علی کی الا ولعنۃ اللہ علی القوم الظالمین وسيعلم الذین ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. ماتم حسین.